Hey everybody, welcome back to an episode of the Tuesday Panic. I'm your host, Paul Turner, and today I want to invite you onto an adventure in taking your kids and teaching them about leadership. Now, I'm currently working through with my students in my Sunday school class about leadership, about risk-taking, about faith, about making choices, and I suddenly had this idea of how I wanted to do this and how I wanted to introduce it. And so I wound up thinking of the old books from the 80s and 90s called the Choose Your Own Adventure books. And these are actually being republished and new stories are being put out. But if you're not familiar with them, let me explain. The books are, this is called Blood on the Handle, and they're basically there's these spy ones, there's sci-fi, there's fantasy, there's all kinds of these different spy books, things like that, where you are going to start reading a story. And then when you reach a point, kind of a fork in the road, if you will, you will tell the kids and say, well, listen, if you want to do this, then turn to page 72. If you want to do this, turn to page 14. And what I am finding with my students, and this is such a cool thing that that is just turning out. I didn't know it was going to be this, teachable, I guess. But what I'm finding is that these kids are talking amongst themselves about how to make decisions. Should we choose this? Should we choose that? But what if this happens? But what if that happens? And so we talk through the different processes, and then we move into our Bible study time. And the Bible study that I'm using is, I'm a member of the Downloadable Youth Ministry, and I get monthly downloads from them. And one of the things they have is Leader Treks has these short 2 to 3 page student leadership pages that I'm using, and I am finding that this book and those pages go very well together, because when we reach something, we talk, like this past one, we talked about risk, that leaders take risks. In this particular story, we reached the end of a part, and I said, what would you like to do? Would you like to get on the helicopter and fly away? Or do you want to take this road down this way and go back to your uncle's house and look for clues? Well, they chose to go back to their uncle's house and look for clues, which was perfectly fine. But the story ended there. And what I was able to teach them was this, is listen, if you don't take any risks, if you don't take any things, your adventure ends, right? The longer you keep taking risks for Christ and for in your own life, the adventure continues. And I said, had not Joshua taken the risk of going into the promised land and clearing out the place and going into battle and those things, the Bible would have been an awfully short book. And so we had a great conversation about taking risks, taking chances. We talked about the plus and minuses of the choices we make. And it just turned out to be a really, really cool thing. So if you are looking for something super simple to do with your students, maybe over a season, because I've been reading this book now for 3 to 4 weeks, and I stop. And that's one thing, is that kids, and this works really well. I have a mixture group of high school and middle school, by the way. But I'm finding that both groups equally enjoy it. And if nothing else, they're showing up just to hear where the story goes. And so I hope this is of value to you. I hope this is a benefit to you. It's super simple. Book costs about $8 or $9, but it'll last you 5 or 6 weeks. So anyway, thanks for joining me today for the Tuesday Panic. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you are a regular, thank you so much. I would love you to hit that thumbs up button. That lets me know you like the video and more of them. But I'd also like to hear how much you use this book, or even if you've even read these books before. Maybe you have some sort of connection with them. I don't know. But if you say, look, this sounds like a good idea, or maybe some ideas you might be able to use it, how you might be able to use it, just leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. And by the way, this is not a huge deal, but this is the 100th episode of the Tuesday Panic. And so if you've endured me for this long, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for hanging with me for all 100 episodes if you watch them. If you're brand spanking new, by the way, thank you for hanging out too. Appreciate you being here. If you would like to get videos like this in your inbox, be sure to hit the thumbs up, not the thumbs up button, the subscribe button. There you go. And the thumbs up button, but the subscribe button right there will be just as good, because that'll get videos like this in your inbox. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining me today for the Tuesday Panic. Appreciate your time today, and I will see you guys next week for Meant to Be Monday. Have a good week, everybody, and have a great youth meeting.